Hello, this is Malorian, and this is going to be a 3,000 point game of my Orcs versus some Demons. So the game we got was the watchtower. My opponent actually got control, but all of our units were too big. So let's see what we got here. For terrain, in the center, that's a watchtower. That little golden statue by me is a sinister statue. That little pillar on her side is that idol of Gork. The large green template on the left is a magic circle. And on the right, we have a building. She has a regular hill up in her zone. And I have that marsh on my side, the little black thing there, but we're not going to be ever coming into play anyway. So let's see what we have. She has a big unit of something like 14. What are those things? You know, the ones that are on the steeds. Seekers? Yeah, the Seekers. And there's a Herald in there. Then there's a big, huge horde of the Bloodletters. There's a Herald in there. Then there's a big, huge horde of the Demonettes. There's a Herald in there. Then there's 6 Flamers. A big, huge unit of the Horrors. And then there's a Herald in there. And then finally, there's the Lord of Change on the far right. On my side, I have my Squig Herd Horde, Wolf Chariot, 100 goblins with 3 characters in there with great weapons, my troll, another chariot. Then I have my horde of savage orcs and big guns, and in there I have my war boss with a +3 attacks, and also my great savage shaman that has the shrunken head. Behind there is my night goblin bunker with my night goblin VSB. Then I have a mirror unit of 100 goblins on the other side there, and on the far right you can see I have my horde of black orcs. So, looking at this game should be pretty straightforward. Savage Orcs are going to hold the building there, and then in the rest, I'm just going to probably have fun, you know. I'm pretty sure my Savage Orcs can beat out the Demonettes in the fight for the tower. The right flank doesn't really look like anything at all, so really my Night Goblins can just go and block them from making any trouble. If anything, I'll try and rush those horrors. And on the left, you know, it's going to be a pretty fight. I mean, those Bloodletter hordes are pretty serious stuff, but if nothing else, I can just be holding up the left side until pretty much the game's over, and then whatever survives shouldn't be able to take the tower away from me. So I get first turn. That stupid statue shoots and destroys one of my chariots and takes the wound off the other one. No animosity or stupidity issues. I move up and I try a hand of Gork myself into the building. She stops it and nothing else works. So that's my first turn. And then on the demon's first turn, these Seekers just go and charge right into me. They don't care at all, and I know I'm going to do some real hurt back to her. So this is what it looks like after her turn, and it was pretty disappointing. First of all, that stupid sinister statue went and blasted my other chariot, so now it's killed both of them. And you can see there on the left that my Squig Horde is gone. You know, she came in, killed some of my guys, I killed a good number back. In the end, I only lost by 1. But, you know, I failed my leadership, exploded, and I didn't do very much damage to her. You know, I just did a few, she made her ward saves, and there you go. I'm done an entire horde, and yeah. So that was kind of a real waste. Otherwise, you know, the Demonettes are just moving up to be fighting me in the tower. And on the far right there, you see the Flying Chicken moved off to my flank, and both that and the Horror Unit blast up my Black Orcs, but I really don't care. They're just there to kind of distract anyway. My turn too. This was pretty cool. My Night Goblins had charged the Flamers. Obviously from this picture you can see that I had actually beaten them and overran into the Horrors. And I also got the upped version of Hand of Gork onto my Black Orcs, and I moved them all the way up here to their other flank. So these Horrors are just screwed. Otherwise, I failed animosity with my Night Goblins, who got shot by that statue again. And but it was the one where I could charge, so I charged into the Bloodletters. The Troll came too, did a whole bunch of wounds. They did a whole bunch even more back to me. The main thing is just, of course, my big bosses really laid it on, and he didn't target me, and so then 2 of my bosses killed his Herald. So that Herald's dead now. I actually lost by a good margin, and of course I held by because I was steadfast. I forgot to actually take the leadership with my troll, so he should have ran, but it's not going to matter because he's about to die from magic anyway. And then my silly archers, my bunker, had nothing else to do, so they just kind of wheel around and actually did a wound to the Lord of Change. So not too bad for a bunker. On the Demon's turn, the Seekers, with nothing better to do, just go and charge into my flank. And after it looks like this. So now that the Bloodletters don't have hatred, and I remember to net them this time, they kill a lot, but not as many, and I'm really starting to grind them down. I'm biting into how many attacks they have. The Demonettes fight me again, and again I do more wounds than them. Then at the top there, I beat the Horrors, a few more than Fays, no big deal. And like I said, that flying chicken did the whole, everything within a foot takes some hits, and that's what killed the troll. So even though I forgot to flee, no big deal. It was actually probably worse for me because it would have rallied after. But I mean, this is the watchtower; it doesn't matter at all. So going on to now my turn, and what happened was on the top right, the Black Orcs charged in, won by a whole bunch. She pretty much, I think she rolled an 11, so the last of the unit phased away, so they're all gone. On the left side there, we're still kind of fighting it out. And I actually got Foot of Gorkoff this time and killed a couple of the Demonettes. But then I rolled a 1, and she got to stomp on the tower. But, of course, when it hits a tower, it only does D6. Got something like 2 and killed 1 guy. So it didn't actually really matter all that much. But it's kind of like, the god stepped down and then tripped on the tower or something. So Demon's turn 3. Flying Chicken goes somewhere, probably somewhere off in the far right. The Demonettes charge the building again. This time the Herald goes in just in hopes of trying to beat me in combat. I issue a challenge, and the champ takes it, which is pretty stupid because I could have just fought them normally. But then again, I don't have a champ to take her challenge. But at any rate, they killed a couple of mine. I think it was 5, and I killed a whole bunch back, so I won combat. And on the left, still a little grind fest. I'm really starting to run low now, but I'm still steadfast, so what do I care? And after this, my opponent said, let's call the game, because it really doesn't matter anymore. I mean, now the Night Goblins with Spears are going to be charging over, and then they're going to be combat reforming, and any chance that anything on the left had to get in is totally gone. So it's pretty obvious I got the game. So, victory to the Orcs. Some thoughts. Statues are jerks. Savage Orc big guns. I mean, basically, once you get those guys into the watchtower, good luck beating those guys, because, I mean, you have to beat them in kills, and that's one of the things they're great at. The other thing is just, I'm really starting to really second guess that Squig Horde. It does really well, it's really killy, but it just seems to be happening too often that somebody charges it, beats it by a bit, and it explodes. And I'm even on the fence on if that's even a bad thing, because even though they're dying, if it had been any other unit, it probably would have lost just as well, except this time it'd probably be run down instead of doing any damage back. So I really don't know. I mean, because of my leadership bubble issues, I might want to change it for something else, but at the same time, I don't even know what I'd even change it for. So I'll play with the list a little bit. I got a goblin unit made for my bunker, so I'll try that out, get some skulkers going, and otherwise, I hope you guys like the battle report.